searched forever for a tape recording you got of this singer. That'll explain how much you love this singer and how much, he was valuable, that you had to search the world to find a tape of who he was. And I said, I'm not going to do that. Well, you got to do that because, you have to. So they spent all this money on all this bullshit that I knew. This is like, this is like the Hindenburg. This thing ain't gonna fly, So, did the second record, and the tour was a small tour, and I said, this is over. This is over. Everyone is fired. It was the last show with Celebrity Theater in Anaheim, and I said, you're all fired. Actually, I told Bill back there, I said, I don't want anything to do with this. Bill, you have to fire these people because I'm going home. So I got in the limo, I went home, and I had all these songs, new songs ready for Guitar Mageddon album. And I said, okay, we're gonna put Rob back in, we're gonna make the sound the way it was, So, it was 1980, that was summer of 1988. A year passed, and I'm supposed to deliver Chrysalis record number 3. And I said, I want off this label. This is gonna end, and these people are just fired. A year goes by, and I was at the Meridian Hotel. My parents had come out from Connecticut, so we were in Coronado, and my manager, I had gotten a new manager at the time, and so he knew that I wanted out of this situation. So he calls me, it was September 29th. I'll never forget this day. So I'm at the hotel, he calls me at the hotel, and he says, Chrysalis failed to pick up your option. The legal department failed to pick up your option. They missed the deadline. So they want to know if you will forgive that and waive it and accept their offer to record the third record with Chrysalis. So, in other words, they screwed up. Legally, they screwed up. And I said to him, well, what if I don't waive the option? What if I don't waive it? Meaning, what if I don't forgive their mistake? He says, then you're free. You're free to go. You don't have to be on Chrysalis anymore. I said, bye, Chrysalis. I said, I'm out of here. Tell them I don't waive it. They fucked up. It's their problem, and I'm free. That's the truth. So Vinnie being kicked out of his own band was a disgusting lie, and it's bullshit, and it's sad that nobody, has told the truth after all these years, and that's what really happened. Well, that's the truth. That's what happened. That is what happened. And there's always what really happened, and if that isn't told, then someone else will say, well, fuck that, I'll tell you what happened, so it'll make me look good. It's skewed, yeah. And then, you get these jerk-offs that come on the internet and say, oh, the record didn't sell anything. I did an audit of my 2 Chrysalis records, and I did an audit of the royalties that they should have owed me in the year 2000, so that was 18 years ago. And first Vinnie Vincent Invasion album sold 1,700,000 records. And the second All Systems Go album only sold 600,000 records. So Chrysalis had owed me in back royalties at that time over $2 million. And when I went to collect that money, the statute of limitations ran out on the contract. So they got away with murder, and I got cheated for a lot of money. And I tried. I had lawyers everywhere, and they said, "You're fucked." The statute ran. So when this is all contributing to why you haven't heard from me, why I never came back. You know, it was like, it was just too much pain, you know, too much. It was one after another, and you know, it changes a person, you know, after all that time, and you don't want to change, but there's no way you get around it, you know. It's how much pain can you take, you know. So, but that was just part of, you know, all of these terrible things that happened.
So how does it feel after 3 days of being surrounded by all this love and support? And what do you take away from this?
It's good medicine, you know. It's a lot of good healing. I start to feel things again that were dead, you know. So it's like feeling coming back in your hands or your fingers after you can't feel anything anymore. So, but you pay a price when you can't feel. You know, we've all been there. It's part of life, but you know, you pay a price when you can't feel things. You know, and sometimes you love the pain because it's all you know. You know, and you hold it and you say, "I know this. This is my friend." Yeah, but the other part, I don't know so well. So you guys, you know, really are part of you know, making it feel good again. So. Thank you so much. It's been a really emotional time for me. I can't remember the last time I blubbered like this. So, but I thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, you know, to be with everybody, you know, so honored. I mean, if it wasn't for my guitar, I don't know what the hell I would have done, but I mean, that basically was the thing that saved me, you know, after all this time, so.
I have to say this out loud. It's been years since anybody has seen or heard from you. And you're 3 days into this, and this is my first day to get to see you, but I'm telling you, you have so much love, you know, to you from us here around the world. I mean,
wow.
So much. You need to stay where you're at. I'm just saying, you need to stay where you're at. It's time.
It's so hard to believe that this is what's going on now. You know?
We've got people that come in from different states and different countries.
These guys, look at this. Spain,
This is the South American part.
Argentina, Spain, Chile, Finland. I mean, that is Mexico, Bridgeport, Connecticut. I got family here almost from Connecticut, New Haven. I'm thinking, really? Is this really? Are you guys really here for me? You must be here for somebody else. You can't be here for me. But I got, you know, and the funny thing is I got all this stuff, and I just wanted everybody to hear it and enjoy it. You know, all the stuff I've recorded since I was 14 years old, you know, and I said, you know, all this great stuff from, you know, all the months of recording songs and on the Paramount, you know, movie lot, you know, for the Happy Days stuff. And I got all this stuff, and I used to bring my tape recorder everywhere. And, oh God, that's incredible. That is incredible.
I was hoping you'd sign it for me, but I wasn't.
Here's how that happened. There was a friend of mine. His name was Bennett Salve. And I met him through a band, and he was, you know, he's a keyboard player, and he's a really talented musician. And I met him at Warner Brothers Amigo Studios in LA, where Van Halen records. And he came in to play on one of my demos one time, and he said, "Do you want to write some songs with me?" He says, "I'm the music director for all the Paramount shows, for Happy Days, Johnny Loves Chachi, Laverne Show." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "I do all the music for this." I said, "What do you mean?" I didn't understand what he said. "Yeah, I coordinate the music, I produce it, I write it." He says, we really need some songs. Would you want to write some songs? I said, yeah, wow. This was about 8 months before I joined KISS. So that's how strange this was. This was in the summer of 1981, and I joined KISS in fall of 1982. So he said, come on down to the Paramount, TV lot. I said, what do you mean come down there? He says, oh, just meet me on the Happy Days set, and there's a piano there, we'll wheel it in. You just bring your acoustic guitar and your tape recorder, and we'll just sit around and write the songs. So I'm going, really? He says, yeah, there'll be a pass for you at the gate. Just like we watch these movies, and these people are coming in through the gate, and they got the cops there, and they go, your name, please? I says, Vinnie Casano. I got my old car, my beater, my 65 Dodge Dart. I always never forget this. And I'm driving, okay, go ahead and lot number, whatever. So I'm going, wow, man, this is amazing, all these, they're recording TV shows, movies here. I go, gee, this is fun. Look at me here, this is like more important than anything. So I'm driving through and I find a lot. I said, where's the Happy Days? He says, over there, So I walk in, I've got my acoustic guitar, my little thing. And so Bennett says, Vinny, over here. Let's come on, we'll right over here. So, and I'll never forget this because, I used to watch Happy Days, I'm thinking, wow, this is terrific. So I didn't know how these shows were recorded. So I go in and, there's the set, the set, like their living room, their kitchen, their dining room, their this, whatever. So he said, come on, we'll write in the kitchen. I said, really? I said, you mean the Cunningham's kitchen? He said, yeah, come on, bring your guitar. So we're sitting right there at the kitchen table. I says, God, if my friends could see this is like amazing. And to me, it was amazing. And week after week after week, I'd meet them there, days after days. And, eventually I got to know some of the people, with the show. They were just, fun times. They were just more fun.
They were happy days.
They were happy days. They really were. But the songs were really nice. And so what I have as part of the Vinnie Vincent Archives is all of those tapes that we recorded that you can hear us sitting at, well, you can't see it, but this is where they were recorded. And him saying, I like that chord, I don't like that chord. How about this? Da, 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 da. Yeah, that works. Yeah. And that kind of development. But I got hours and hours of that kind of stuff with Gene and Paul. So from Revenge, all the songs we wrote, that we demoed, we didn't, from all the stuff from Creatures of the Night and the stuff that was on there that never made it to the record. And when I was listening to it, I said, I think, the fans that like all this stuff, it really is a fascinating trip to just sit there and hear how this people sit down and write a song and how it happens. So, I got versions of Unholy that how that began and how it ended and where it began. I got lyrics. I got books of lyrics that, these were things that, it's great. I got versions of that. Paul and I in the studio for all the Revenge songs that didn't get on the record, and the Lick It Up stuff that didn't get on the record that I've got. I've got the Guitar-mageddon. The tracks I've got never were heard before. They're not on the internet, nobody. And they're like the master, versions of all of this. And I gotta tell you, there's this bootleg out, and somebody did something real shitty, and they put this Warrior CD out. And this is a bullshit CD put out by these three losers that are trying to, capitalize off of my name. Now, let me tell you some stories about that because you should know. Somebody said you should hook up with these guys. I did. I rehearsed with them and I said basically no talent. There's no talent here. And I recorded some demos. I thought no talent. This is worthless. And then KISS came, the door opened for that shortly after. So everybody